Hello, everyone. Tonight, this morning, wherever you are in this world, I am really, really excited to share that Daisy Lane Publishing is bringing Sarah Surgey and her story, The Heavy Bag, to Australia. I am so honoured and grateful to be working in collaboration with Sarah on this. So, welcome, Sarah. Please tell us a little about who you are, your story, and its successes so far.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. I'm very, very excited. I have wanted for a long time to see the heavy bag go into Australia. So yeah, this is really exciting for me. So yeah, my name's Sarah Surgey and I'm based here in the UK, and I'm a children's author. I have various books at different publishing houses, but one that I wrote and self-published myself is called The Heavy Bag, and it's just been an amazing project over the last 3 years that has just taken me to places that as an author, when you first write a book, you just don't envisage that you'll end up doing, because I think we've spoken a lot about this recently. There's so much more beyond the book when you write a book, and I've just had some really amazing experiences. So The Heavy Bag I wrote during lockdown in 2020. I've experienced grief in my life as a child and as an adult, and it's just weighed really heavily on me. And during the pandemic, when we were in lockdown, um, there was so much on the news about grief and people losing their lives and illness, and it really came into our homes. So I think for the first time, a lot of children that possibly hadn't experienced grief before, it was just there, and people were talking about it, and people were talking about who they knew who was ill or had passed away from COVID, and it was just becoming a topic which was really coming into children's everyday lives. And I've got four daughters, and they're various different ages, and even the youngest one at the time was starting to hear about this. And I just remember one day a friend saying to me, "Do you know what? This all just feels so heavy." And I thought, yeah, it does. And what a wonderful way to try and use this metaphor to explain to children a little bit more. So just to put a bit of context, I've worked within education for about 20 years. So I'm always thinking of ways to communicate with children through books, because I think that's the best resource and tool that we can use, and always ways to start conversations. I've been writing for many years, although I've been in the classroom. I've been a freelance writer for magazines and various websites for a good few years. So it's it's definitely a way that I like to communicate with children, and start those conversations. So I sat down and I was thinking about the heaviness, and the heavy bag just came to me. And I just thought about this girl that was carrying this really heavy bag, and she's on this journey, physically, but also metaphorically. She's on this journey of working through her grief. And obviously, there's various different stages within grief. So I wrote this book, and originally it was just going to be something that I was going to print up myself as a self-publisher and just offer it as a resource to local schools and charities. Um, and it kind of went off in a way that I wasn't expecting. A friend of mine who is German said, "This works. This metaphor works in German as well. I must translate this. We need this book." And I thought, well, that's really interesting, because I love the whole translation process and how it's kind of, stories are changed because of whatever culture that it sits in. So I was like, well, that'd be really interesting. Let's give it a go. So she translated it, and I printed up some German editions. And a German therapist at the time found the book, and she bought it and she used it, and then she recommended it to all the other therapists in Germany, and suddenly it just kind of had this ripple effect, and it was put into stores, and then in the UK it was presented at ELSA conference here in the UK, which are emotional support literacy assistants in our schools, in our primary schools. And it was taken to the conference, and suddenly I had this influx of just primary schools across the UK and Germany, wanting to use it. So it just kind of trickled from there. And then I had the foreign publishers' interest. So then the languages snowballed, and it's now it's translated into 16 languages, and they're in various ways, you know, some through publishing houses, and in particular, one is used by UNICEF, where the book is used in collaboration with UNICEF within refugee camps, and for children and families who are experiencing grief. So it's been an amazing 3-year journey of watching this book, The Heavy Bag, and how it's translated, and how it's helped people and children who are experiencing grief.
Absolutely an amazing journey. But when we listen to you speak about it, congratulations. It's a fantastic story, and to be across the globe the way that it is. So thank you, Sarah, for sharing so much with us tonight. It is an absolutely fantastic resource for children to learn and understand the emotions, you know, that occur around grief. And it's such an amazing tool for educators, parents, counsellors and the like. And I can't wait to see where the Heavy Bag is going to go throughout Australia. So thank you again, Sarah, and we'll speak again soon.
Thank you.